we'll have to continue to adjust as we go. That particular mic on the end is not working, so we're gonna have each speaker come to this seat here, right next to me to speak. Or if they have a mic right next to them, that'll work too. Thank you once again, everyone, for being here. At this time, I'd like to take it back to Damien Kim to introduce our next speaker.
Okay, thank you. We have Chairman Sung Young Won, former president of Hyundai, Nippo Dockyard Company, former CEO of SsangYong Motor, former executive vice president of Hyundai Industries Company.
Thank you. It is a great, excuse my voice. It is a great pleasure and honor for me to stand here today to tell you words of appreciation. There is an old Korean proverb saying, history is a mirror of the future. It reminds us that know your past, learn from it, and never repeat the same mistake again. Let me take you back to 1945. Korean Navy was founded 1945, November 11th, but did not have a battleship to protect our coast. Korea was poor and unorganized yet. However, the leaders of the Korean Navy was driven by the hope and the dreams. They wanted to have a battleship to defend the country. Every member of the Korean Navy donated 5 to 10% of their salaries. And also, my mother organized Navy Officer Wife Club and made a muffler, uniforms, and Korean dolls and sold it in the market to raise a fund. Together, Navy rose $15,000 in 4 months. My father, who was a CNO of the Korean Navy, took it to the President of Korea, Sun Man-lee, and the Korean government added $45,000. So together, they have $60,000. Admiral Son, father, who went to USA to buy the battleship with his $60,000, he purchased 4 battleships. First battleship was built, and it was used during the Second World War, and then later used as a training boat, but and later it was abandoned. That abandoned ship was first built by the Korean Navy. To repair this old ship, 15 Navy officers composed of lieutenant and lieutenant colonel came to Port Hoboken, New Jersey. They worked day and night and slept in the ship. The ship was named Baekdusan. It means Whitehead Mountain. The repaired Baekdusan was named ceremony on 1949, December 26th. A long journey to the Korea started from the New Jersey, went to Panama Canal, California, and eventually they arrived in Honolulu. People in Honolulu were so proud, Koreans were so proud of the battleship with the Korean flag. US government had to install 3-inch cannon on the Pearl Harbor. After installation, she left for the Korea. She arrived in Korea April 1950. In the meantime, my father bought 3 additional ships, paying $12,500 each. To repair these 3 ships, 75 naval officers came to San Diego. 2 months after the Baekdusan, who left the Hawaii, arrived in Korea, and in June 25, 1950, Korean War erupted. North Korean troops were supported by the Russia and China. Within 3 days, Seoul south was occupied. In 40 days, they were approaching the southern tip of Korea, the Busan. 1950, June 25, Baekdusan received the information that unknown ship is approaching the Busan on the same day as they attacked the Seoul. Baekdusan met and fought Korea's first naval battles off the coast of the Busan and sank North Korea, carrying 600 special North Korean forces. This critical sea battle saved the Busan and would provide a place for the UN forces to land in Korea. July 5th, 10 days after the war began, the United States of America sent their sons and daughters to defend Korea. Most had never heard of this land. Among them was General Walker, and his son was also coming. General Walker had the Nakdong River defense line. This is what he said. General Walker said, "I will stand here and fight until I die." That Nakdong defense line ended to the end of the Korea. From that defense line to the end of the Korea is only 1 hour. Since North Korea could not penetrate the east side due to the General Walker's strong defense, they tried attack from the west side of the Busan. The battle was so fierce because for the south, Busan is the only city left in the whole country. And the North Korea, they look, it's 1 hour to the end of the Korea. So both sides did their best to conquer. During this period, fierce battle, New York Herald Tribune's lady reporter, Margaret Hickins, wrote, "Korean Marine can catch even a ghost." Because of this report, she wrote in the New York Herald, the famous saying, "Marine, the ghost catcher," became a word that was spread in Korea and the rest of among the Marines. At this time, I was 9 years old. My mother visited military hospital almost every day. One day she asked me whether I would like to go with her. I went with her. The hospital, the Army's hospital, was located near to the Yeongdong Bridge. I saw there, what I saw there, embedded into my memory for a long time. Even now, after 74 years, I still remember this. Wounded soldier was laying along the dark and cold concrete corridors. Blankets under their bodies were their bed. I could hear moaning sound of the wounded soldiers. White bandages wrapped their heads, arms, and legs. My mother asked me to bring water in the water basin. She wetted the towels. She gently wiped the faces of the wounded soldiers, hands, and trimmed their fingernails. Spoke softly to them, and then she moved to the next. I stood beside her, silently witnessing the suffering. 9 years old, I was scared. That was the moment I understood what is meant to be a citizen of a weak nation. I know that I'm here in front of you because what General Walker did at the Nakdong River. General Walker, in 45 days, steadfast resistance allowed September 15, General MacArthur to carry out the Incheon landing, a decisive turning point of Korean War. On September 28th, at Jungwon Seoul, we took down North Korean flag. and to raise the South Korean flag. It took 3 months from the surrender to victory of the sword. On July 27, 1953, Korean War Armistice Agreement was reached between UN Armed Forces and the Korean side forces. Also, October 1st, 1953, U.S.-Korea Mutual Defense Treaty was signed. World's strongest nation and weak and the poorest nation agreed on the Mutual Defense Treaty. In 1954, among the 140 UN registered countries, Korea ranked 139. Out of 140, we are 139. That means we are the poorest country in the whole world. Why the US signed this Mutual Defense Treaty? Answer, I believe, lies something deeper than the geopolitics. I recalled inauguration ceremony of US President Bush in Capitol, Washington, D.C. He put his left hand on the Bible and he raised his right hand, swearing to hold up the Constitution and live by the principle found in the sacred book, the Bible. The lawyer once asked Jesus Christ, "What is the greatest commandment?" He replied, written in Matthew 22, "Love your God with all your heart and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself." Not just in thought, but with your life. I come to realize that that was the principle the United States was following. The Mutual Defense Treaty was not merely political agreement. It was a treaty of love. It was a treaty of love. Because of that treaty, Korea was able to build, rise, and to thrive. Today, 72 years later, today we have a 72th anniversary. Today, 72 years later, we were proud to stand top 10 countries, top 10 economic countries among the 193 UN registered countries. I offer my deepest thanks to the United States for defending Nakdong River, launching the Incheon landing, and opening the U.S. market for Korea to grow economically. Dear friends, at this 72nd anniversary of Korean War Armistice, I have no grand word, only one word: thank you. We hope that in our time, we may give you back even a small part of what we have received. And as we sail together on this shared journey, let us continue to safeguard peace and prosperity of our neighbors. In closing, I would like to say thank you, United States of America. Thank you, Korean War veterans. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Leave
sir,
them
for
on
that
side
very
for now.
powerful message.